who wants to step into the pocket. Do you have what it takes? And now, the Pocket Presents Podcast, presented by FRESHOUSE Juice Bar and PILBROIII Inc. How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Pocket Presents Podcast. I'm your host, Dante DeTomasis, alongside my co-host, Nick Saps.
Hello.
And here we are, Nick. Week 1 is finished.
Yep.
So exciting, so refreshing.
It was good to have football back.
Oh, my goodness.
It was fantastic.
Before we start, guys, we'd like to thank our sponsors, FRESHOUSE Juice Bar. Check them out, guys. 2 locations, one at Kiel and Major Mac, and one at Pine Valley and Highway 7. Go to Mike for the freshest to the infinity freshest. We have his juices on set. It is unbelievable.
Yep.
I love them. And
They're
here
great.
we are.
They're great.
I got mine as well, just so you guys are wondering. And of course, we'd like to thank our sponsors, PILBROIII Carpentry. The Pileggi family has been doing this for 30 years for all your carpentry needs. Go to Tony. They build homes and not houses. Nick, week 1.
Week 1.
Week 1.
Very weird.
Very weird, I know, for both of our teams.
Eh.
But first, I think it's time to get juiced up.
Let's do it.
You know what? We need some energy right now.
Let's do it.
The NFL is back.
I'm pumped, man.
So here we are. You ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Week 1 scores, guys, presented by FRESHOUSE Juice Bar. Oh, okay, I'm ready. Here we go. All right, first game on the menu. New York Jets, Buffalo Bills. Buffalo takes it 27-17. Josh Allen with some rushing touchdowns and everything that you need to go with it. The Jets are absolutely pathetic. Las Vegas Raiders, Carolina Panthers. The Raiders are absolutely back and forth in this one. But Josh Jacobs ran the show with 3 rushing touchdowns.
Battle of the trash.
That's it. Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions thought they were going to win this one, but nope. The Chicago Bears came back in this one. Mitch Trubisky led them down the field with 3 touchdowns.
The Detroit Lions just keep finding new ways to lose football games.
Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars. Just when you think Phillip Rivers was going to do something good, he did it. Jacksonville came back 27-20.
So much for tanking for Trevor Lawrence.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Rodgers absolutely lit this team up. The scoreline shouldn't have been that close. Devontae Adams had a field day against this team. Green
Aaron
Bay
Rodgers
takes it.
is pissed. He's pissed.
43-34. And of course, my Dolphins were in Foxborough taking on the Patriots. Cam Newton absolutely ran all over this team, and we couldn't tackle him for the life of it.
More on that later.
Washington football team. Yes, the Washington football team. Their first debut against the Philadelphia Eagles. Chase Young absolutely dominated.
Yes, he did.
And
So
Washington
did the
football
Washington
team,
defense.
absolutely. They were down 17-0, and they came back 27 unanswered. Washington takes it. Saints and Buccaneers. Tom Brady, his debut for the Bucs. Is he a system quarterback or not? Saints absolutely took it to him. Michael Thomas is hurt, so for all you fantasy lovers, you got to be careful there. Saints take it 34-23. Arizona Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers. Just when you thought the Niners were going to absolutely run all over this team, Arizona had other ideas.
Kyler Murray looked fantastic.
Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins combined it for 14 catches for D-Hop. Cardinals take it. Rams and Cowboys. Unbelievable game here. Right at the end, Dak Prescott to Michael Gallup. Just when you think 40 yards, nope. Jalen Ramsey flops, and the Rams win 20-17. But I'm going to leave yours for last, Nick. The best for last. The Chargers and the Bengals. What a Hollywood ending this was. Joe Burrow, just when you think it's a touchdown pass to A.J. Green, nope, there's a flop. What are you going to do? And, of course, Mr. Randy Bullock.
Randy.
The biggest elephant in the room pulls a hammy and misses a field goal. Can you believe this?
Yes, I can.
Chargers take it over the Bengals. Unbelievable. And that is the Week 1 forecast preview and everything else of the week. So, Nick, here we are. That was my Week 1 recap presented by FRESHOUSE. What were your takeaways from Week 1?
Well, first and foremost, it was fantastic to have football back. It was fantastic to sit at home on a Sunday and watch all the games, all the touchdowns, all the hits, all the picks. It was amazing. Some takeaways. Some offenses looked a little rusty, but that's to be expected with no preseason. And a lot of the defenses obviously benefited from that. How about yours?
Well, I gotta say, it was a weird week, like you said. I mean, my Dolphins, not the greatest.
No.
Not the greatest at all.
No.
So I'm going to have to get used to life with, hopefully, Tua Tagovailoa pretty soon.
Yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Exactly. But it's interesting.
Yeah.
I thought, for the most part, I thought the Ravens looked the best team, obviously, on all phases,
To
special
be
teams.
expected, yeah, absolutely.
They completely annihilated the Browns. So I actually wanted to move into that. I mean, my biggest
Sure.
takeaway was the Ravens, but
Sure.
who are your pretenders and your contenders so far, Nick?
So after week 1, I think the most obvious pretender would probably be, for me, the Tennessee Titans. They went very far in the playoffs last year, and to only, win by 2 points and not even look good on offense. They look good on defense, but, on offense with feeding Derrick Henry, didn't really have his best day. The play-action passing game worked for a bit. They kind of got away with it. They kind of got away from it in the second half. And the Tennessee Titans, special teams graveyard. They were 8 for 21 in field goals, made and attempted last year.
Steven Gostkowski.
8 for 21. That looks like one of my math tests. But, that's just unacceptable. You got to be better on special teams, and they would have won, 23-14 if he had hit all those field goals. So for me, they're a pretender. And, I mean, you pretty much nailed it for me. Baltimore, they look legit again, and them and Kansas City are going to run away with it in the AFC for me.
I agree, and I got to bring up another pretender that I thought would have a good year, but I'm kind of weird with this team. The Buffalo Bills.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I thought so too.
You go and play the Jets. I get it. Obviously, you won, but you didn't look that impressive. You know what I mean? Josh Allen missed a ton of throws in this game. Like, there was one where he threw it to John Brown, and the guy was like, there's nobody within 30 yards of this guy in the end zone. I don't even know how that happens. First off, that's pretty pathetic for the Jets.
Yeah.
And then Josh Allen airmails him 15 yards up in the air. It's like, what are you doing? So he could have easily had 7 touchdowns in this game.
And he also had a few
fumbles,
lousy turnovers.
Yeah. So I don't know what to expect from this team. The Bills' defense obviously is the Bills' defense, but I mean, is it really much of a test against the Jets? I don't know yet. I think they're a pretender.
Either, yeah.
I think they're a pretender. And my contender, who I really like right now, are the Steelers. I know it's early, but that defense is coming to play, man.
Yeah,
and they're going to eat your quarterbacks, you know what, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because that pass rush, Daniel Jones had no chance. Saquon Barkley
didn't have a chance in hell
negative either. 1 quadruple billion yards rushing.
Yeah.
Because he was getting stone cold on every play.
Every play.
I don't even want to run the ball against this team. And you can't. So, if your team becomes one-dimensional, the Steelers are going to start,
capitalizing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where the secondary comes in with the likes of Minka Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden, and all these.
Terrell Edmonds, a rookie.
Exactly. And all these playmakers.
Right.
So, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. But, Nick, let's move on. Let's talk about some of the situations moving forward.
Sure.
So, in terms of the divisions.
Okay.
All right. So, in the NFC East, would you ever have predicted the Washington football team to be above in first place right now?
I wouldn't have. No, absolutely not. But I did expect them to beat Philly, as weird as that sounds to say, because, listen, the Eagles just aren't that good.
Yeah,
They have, Miles Sanders was out, so that's a big loss. But they have unproven wide receivers.
Yep.
Boston Scott, whatever. Corey Clement, he had his moment in the Super Bowl. He hasn't done much since.
Exactly.
And, the only weapons the Eagles really have are the 2 tight ends, Goddard and Ertz. They showed out pretty well. But they're just not that good. The line isn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
The defense, they can stop the run. The pass, not so much.
I hear you.
So, and don't kid yourself, Washington has a fantastic defense with Deron Allen, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Ryan Kerrigan,
Chase Young,
who they just
Absolute
drafted, ton of
tank.
playmakers, and you saw they sacked Wentz
8 times.
Yeah, 8 times.
8 times.
So I was not surprised. How about you?
Well, I gotta say that division. I love talking about this division because you never know. You can't predict this.
Yeah, it's the most unpredictable division.
And it always comes down at the last week or the last 2 weeks with this division. It's either the Cowboys, Eagles, or Giants, or just somebody.
Yeah,
right?
anybody. Yeah.
And now I love it because it's even more predictable. We had the team that was supposed to finish last in first in that division so far. So we'll see how that turns out along the season.
Absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
Another division I'm looking forward to is the NFC South.
Okay, yeah.
So the Bucks, the Saints, the Panthers, Falcons. Obviously, the Saints got round one, but with Michael Thomas now hurt, you know, that changes the whole ball game in this division.
Yeah.
Atlanta's a great team too.
Yep.
I mean, obviously they played a good team in Seattle. So we'll see how that division looks, but I'm really excited to see who comes out of this division.
I am too, and
should be interesting. Who do you think's going to come out of that one?
I think New Orleans still, just because they've been together a lot longer than Tom Brady and Mike
Even with
Evans
Michael
and Chris.
Thomas, eh?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. They can win. They can win without him. They can win with him. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, he only had 2 catches for 12 yards.
Yeah. And their defense really played well.
Yeah, and that's what New Orleans has that Tampa and Atlanta don't have. They have a formidable defense that can get you stops at the right times.
Yeah. Atlanta, amazing offensive team, but Russell Wilson really shredded that team.
Yeah,
apart.
he did. Yeah.
So, absolutely
Expect
incredible.
a lot more of that too. I don't think Atlanta's D is all that, to be honest.
Yeah.
How about our teams? You wanna
You know
talk
what?
about them?
I mean, where do I start with this team? You know what I mean? Our offense is absolutely pathetic. We can't run the football.
Right.
Jordan Howard, he got a 1-yard plotter, but, you know, I mean, Fitzpatrick and this O-line is absolutely pathetic right now.
Yeah.
We just can't move the ball down the field. And on top of that, Devontae Parker gets hurt. So
Yeah, that didn't help very much,
let's
did it?
just say my team's pretty much screwed.
Right, okay.
When we're down, we have no wide receivers now. So I'll leave it at that. Let's move on to your team, Nick.
Sure, yeah. No, I got a lot I want to say.
Let's hear it, buddy.
Honestly, I've been waiting for this past Sunday since the day he got drafted. And it's the most excited I've ever been for a Bengals home opener since I can remember. He looked like a rookie. I mean, obviously, you know, not every touchdown is going to be not every drive is going to be a touchdown like at LSU where he's playing, you know, against guys his own age or a bit younger. And, you know, since he doesn't have a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson, but they got some fantastic weapons nonetheless. And he looked okay. He gave himself a D, which I thought was awesome. He's super humble. I think I would have gave him a C+ or a B-, and a lot of my grade comes on the final drive of the game. And I mean, where do I begin on that final drive? No timeouts, because again, I think it's just a thing with Cincinnati Bengals coaches. They do not know how to manage timeouts. Damn. Always, no matter what. Marvin Lewis and Zach Taylor, hopefully he learns from it. But he got the ball at his own 18, 3 minutes left, and drove all the way down the field. Keep in mind, like I said, no timeouts.
Yeah. No, I was impressed.
Debut, no preseason.
Yeah, exactly.
No reps.
Exactly.
No reps, no practice reps in the preseason games to work on this type of stuff.
That's right.
And he made me I'm nervous as hell.
He made you believe.
He made me so calm and I was just I'm so grateful that he's my quarterback for the next hopefully 15, 20 years if he wants to play as long as Tom Brady. And you know what? He threw a great ball to AJ Green at the end.
Was a touchdown.
It was a touchdown.
And then the flop.
The flag, which I wasn't really not a big fan of.
NFL, get your stuff together, man, with these flops.
Yeah,
Holy.
you guys really crushed me.
Stop ruining games. What the heck?
So, you know, I'm thinking to myself, he's got to make this field goal. Fat Randy, he's got to make it. He made a 50-yarder.
Yeah.
I think he hit from 43. And listen, it's a miracle if he hits from 50 because he's awful from beyond 50. So, you know, he pulls his calf or calves He said it was his left calf, but there's pictures all over the internet of him grabbing his right calf. So, get it together, Randy, please. And, just some final thoughts. I was super impressed, obviously, like I said, and I'm looking forward to the Thursday night game against Cleveland, which is going to be his primetime debut. And
who do you got in that one? You think since he comes on top?
It'd be fantastic.
Listen, their defense
It'd
played
be fantastic.
well. Their defense played well against the Chargers. They kept
did.
them in the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
They gave Burrow a shot at the end.
Yep, they
So,
did.
listen, if they could get to Baker Mayfield, I don't think Baker Mayfield's the greatest right now.
They still got gashed. They still got gashed in the running game, though.
That's
And
okay.
Coming up against Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they're going to need to definitely neutralize them.
I agree.
And
I agree.
And so, yeah, going back to final thoughts, Cincinnati would have won that game if they took advantage of the field position.
Right.
Because, as much as I want to blame it on officiating and bad calls and all that sort of stuff, they had some great field position earlier on in the game. And even when he threw that interception, they were driving in Chargers territory. So, same old Bengals in the sense that they drive it into opposition territory and something negative comes about it. So I believe that if they come away with points in the future, driving into opposition territory, they're gonna be a threat and they can upset a lot of teams.
I agree, and I'm a big fan of Joe Burrow moving forward.
Me too.
Listen, the difference in fantasy points was very minor, so it was very close.
Yeah, 16 in his debut, not too bad.
I think he could have. With the touchdown, could have been 20 plus, right?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge. So
absolutely.
we'll see what happens there. But Nick, let's move on to the waiver wires.
Sure.
Now, I know everyone's a big fan of the waiver wires. For all you fantasy folks, you're probably wondering, who the heck do you take this week? Nick, I'll start with this one.
Sure.
I'm a monstrous fan of Nyheim Hines right now.
Okay.
Nyheim Hines going to absolutely explode, especially with the way Phillip Rivers deals with running backs. You guys do not want to miss this one. I'm telling you, this is Austin Eckler 2.0. The catches and the goal line touches are absolutely massive. I got to go Nyheim Hines.
And Marlon Mack out for the year.
Exactly.
That's where all the value.
Such a killer.
Yeah.
What about you, Nick?
I'll go with a wide receiver, and with wide receivers off the waiver wire, I'm always about volume.
Yep.
So I'll give you two. I really liked Corey Davis's game.
He did look great. He did look great on Monday night.
It's Tennessee didn't pick up his fifth-year option, so he's playing for a second contract with the Titans or with any other organization if they decide to let him hit free agency. He had a lot of targets. He was running really good routes. A lot of his receptions were off the crossers, off the play action, and those are killer because at any moment in time he can break one of those off for a big play.
That's right.
Another guy that I liked was Alan Lazard on Green Bay.
Oh, he looked good too.
He looked good. Aaron Rodgers seems to like him.
Anybody with Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah, and I mean,
it's a no-brainer. Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
And listen, if you're in a 12-team league or a 14-team league, and you have Michael Thomas, you're probably really hurting for depth.
Oh yeah.
And you never know. I mean, he can give you, if he gets you a touchdown, or even if he gets you 6 points, 60 yards.
As a flex, can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. So I like Corey Davis and Alan Lazard.
Yeah, my biggest fear with Davis is obviously A.J. Brown. I mean, A.J. Brown did not receive that much of attention on Monday night.
Yeah.
But I think against a Jags team coming up, you never know. I mean, I think Derrick Henry's primed for a breakout there. But we'll see what happens.
31 carries he had. Unbelievable.
Man, what a truck.
Unbelievable.
What a Mack truck that guy is. Oh, my God.
All volume.
What do you think of Malcolm Brown? I know he had a monster night against the Cowboys. Do you think he's someone to target as well, given that Rams backfield situation? I know it's still maybe 50-50, but nobody knows. But he clearly took those goal line carries and made the most of them.
I'm gonna say yes, because listen, he's been there since McVay got there, and he's really familiar with the system.
Yeah.
He knows all the language and the terminology, and it's pretty much him, Cam Akers, who's a rookie and he just got drafted, and Darrell Henderson, who was injured last year. But, that was also he was also drafted last year, and, coming into his second year, he didn't really get exposed too much last year. So you can consider him a first-year player if you'd like. So I think Malcolm Brown is someone you could target. What do you think?
Listen, I love him, but at the same time, I'm going to trade him immediately.
Okay.
So if there's somebody out there, now this is what I love to do. I love to pick people up and try to trade them as quickly as possible. Okay, because there's always somebody desperate for a running back. Because we had some go down this week. We had Le'Veon Bell. We had Marlon Mack. Yep. We've had some people go down, and there's more to come.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, hopefully not on my team. So I'm going to knock on wood for that one. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know. I totally understand.
Nick, that leads us to week 2.
Yep.
What are you previewing here? What games are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to New England and Seattle on Sunday night. I want to see if New England, and more in particular Cam Newton, I want to see if he can do it against a better defense. And I want to see what that Patriots defense, which was incredible last year, do against a way better offense than Miami.
I agree.
So I'm really excited to see that matchup. And of course, obviously, I'm a huge Bengals fan, so Burrow's primetime debut against Cleveland. I'm super pumped for that.
Thursday night.
Your games?
I got to look forward to Houston, Baltimore.
Okay.
And there's a reason for this, because I seen the Texans. There was some good points about them on Thursday night. Now, obviously, they were down, and Deshaun Watson needed his weapons. But I see something here. I know they got blown out by Baltimore last year. Baltimore absolutely annihilated them.
Yeah, they spanked them.
The Texans gave me something. They gave me something here. Deshaun Watson at the end of that game, he showed me something that, that never gave up attitude.
Yeah, he definitely had that.
And if you were watching that fantasy performance, you're like, okay, this is the biggest bust. And then, boom, all of a sudden,
20 points.
Rushing touchdown, 20 points. So the Texans do have that explosion. Now, can they keep up with Lamar? I don't know. Probably not. But I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, and that Baltimore D is no joke.
No, it is no joke. So Texans are going to have their hand full. But I think a lot of people, I mean, think about it. I mean, with that, like, you're starting off the season with Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Right.
I mean, going 0-2 is obviously, like,
missing the playoffs.
Pretty likely. So they got a tough schedule.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm also looking forward to the Lions and the Packers.
Okay.
Now, I love this rivalry because you never know what the heck happens here. Aaron Rodgers, I remember he once threw a Hail Mary, 60-something yards.
Yeah, to Richard Rodgers.
Rodgers, an absolute bomb. This game is going to be loaded with stuff that you probably wouldn't believe. I know it's coming. Every time these two play, I know it's coming. So I'm really looking forward to those.
Fair.
But Nick, we got to take a call right now.
Sure.
Hello.
Hello, who is this? Welcome to the Pocket Presence Podcast.
Welcome, I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
Who is it?
It's Angelo.
Angelo, how are you, buddy? It's Dante and Nick here.
Not too bad.
Not too bad,
Good.
Another week 1, heading to week 2.
Yeah, it's a big week.
Who's your favorite team, Ange?
Me, I'm a Patriots fan.
Oh,
Nice.
God. He just said he's a Patriots fan, Nick. You know what that means. You got to deal with him.
I got to deal with him. I ain't got no problem.
Okay.
I ain't got no problem with that.
You deal with that.
They always beat Pittsburgh.
We had the Bills last week. Now we have the Patriots. What is going on here?
I don't know. I don't know. They're very popular teams, the Bills and the Patriots.
And, of course, his Patriots beat my Dolphins. So.
Well, I mean, was it really much of a surprise?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they put up a bit of a fight, but, it's obvious.
So did you win any fantasy matchups this past week?
I did. I had a nice Noah fan miracle to cap off my first one, and I won my other 2 leagues that aren't that important. But for the first time, I won all 3, which is pretty good. I usually win 3 all year.
You said Noah Fant, right?
Yep.
Hey, I love him. Great pick, man. Great pick. You're a great GM. I can tell already.
I
For
wouldn't go
sure.
that far. Thank you.
No worries.
So, Ange, you got a question for us?
I do. I had a couple, but you know what? The biggest thing I feel is Arians, man, and the comments he made about my boy Tom. I just want to know your guys' take on it, because I don't know, some stuff he said was pretty extreme.
Yeah, he was very firm with the comments that he made.
I was quite
he's known
shocked.
for that.
Sorry?
He's known for saying some stuff, but you know, when you're talking about one of the greatest, I don't know. I think he took it over the top a little bit.
I agree. Don, do you want to answer this one first?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I'm actually happy that he said that because I'm not a Brady fan.
Ah, okay.
But
I figured.
I can't stand that guy. But I got to give credit where credit's due, Edge. Tom Brady is the GOAT. I don't care what anyone says. This guy has done it through thick and thin, and he's led his comebacks in ways that you can't even imagine, especially the Atlanta one.
Right.
So you got to give credit to Tom Brady. I don't know. Maybe it could be his last season. Probably not. But I'm looking forward to how he plays with life without the Patriots, as you're probably going through right now, Ange.
I'm happy with Cam so far.
Right.
But you know, I'll always be rooting for Tom. I'm never gonna be a Bucs fan, but you know, I just want to see him do good.
Fair.
That's a fair point, yeah. What do you think, Nick?
What do I think? Listen, Bruce Arians is a great coach, but Tom Brady's the best quarterback of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
He doesn't need any more motivation.
No, none.
But I mean, if Bruce Arians wants to say that stuff and get him even more motivated to come out even better in week 2,
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely won't hurt. Do I agree with it? No, because like I said, he is the greatest quarterback of all time. Listen, no one else is going to win a Super Bowl down 28-3.
Yeah, I mean, that Atlanta game, I'll probably never forget.
Yeah, that was an
Absolutely
incredible
ridiculous.
game.
I mean, but even the other ones too, right?
Right.
The Rams in the first one.
Yep.
Vinatieri comes down. Vinatieri does another
you're throwing
one.
it back. Yeah.
I'm throwing it way back, but I mean, this is Tom Brady.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
What are your thoughts, Ange, from coming from a Patriots fan and a Tom Brady supporter?
I mean, the comments, like, you know, he has a point. Brady, you know, did play poorly, but, you know, you got to give credit to, first of all, the Saints D, who's better than last year.
Right,
You know,
absolutely.
they improved. Second, no preseason.
No preseason, that hurt a lot. I agree.
Yes, which is fine. And, you know, but I think when you're talking about someone that respected some comments, I think he took it over the top.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Brady cares.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, you got to pick on more than one player. But, like, my point is, if you pick on the best player, then you have no reason to pick on all your other players. So now it's, you know, it's just open case over there. So I think it'll help the team.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried. They'll pick it up.
Yeah, no, for sure they will.
I'm not worried. I believe in Tom, so we'll see what happens.
Agreed.
That's true.
I always believe in him.
He's proved time and time again. So, I mean, there's no reason to ever doubt him at this point. So,
Yep.
And you got any fantasy questions for us?
I mean, sure. I can ask, you know, I know Nick's a big Cincy fan, and I went with Joe Mixon with my first pick, so I want to know what you think he's going to do. You know, him and Burrow, I'm excited to see that. You know, I want him to throw to him a little more, but, I mean, as long as he gets those rushing attempts, I'm happy. So what do you think? What do you think Joe Mixon's going to do this year?
First off, I want to say he gets criminally disrespected by every single player who plays fantasy, and it hurts my feelings. It honestly does. It kills me inside.
I hear that.
But listen, he's going to turn it up. Last year, in the first half of the season, he did nothing. When you get towards the fantasy playoffs,
Yep.
he turns it the hell up.
Okay. I like that. That sounds good.
So this Thursday, they play Cleveland.
Yep, I got Chubb too, so I'm hoping for some points there.
Yeah, hopefully there's a lot of rushing touchdowns there. But listen,
I hope so.
he, in the 4 games that he's played Cleveland in his 2 years as a starter, he's got something like, I don't even know how many touchdowns he has, but it's a lot. He had, I believe it was 3 or 4 of them against Cleveland last year. So you can expect an uptick in production,
Yeah.
and you're definitely going to see the touchdowns. So
That's all I want.
there's nothing to be worried about.
One each.
Joe Mixon 1-yard TD run.
Joe
Let's
Mixon,
call it right now.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
and a great celebration because he's a fantastic dancer.
I'll be watching for that.
And listen, he fumbled for the first time in 3 years. You're not going to see another fumble from him this season. I can guarantee you that. And he's angry that he fumbled.
He did look angry, so you know what?
He's
It's a
angry.
reassurance from you. I'm happy to hear that.
He's angry, so don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. If somebody gives you a lowball offer on Joe, you tell him where to go.
Oh no, he's staying. Don't worry.
Okay, good, because
Just tell him where the sun don't shine.
he's gonna be a top 10 back this year.
That's all I want. You know what? I'm happy. I'm 1-0 for the first time in my 10 years of playing, so I'm not complaining. You know, I'm expecting just bigger things. And I know
No,
what's
absolutely,
up, so.
absolutely. I understand that. And for all you Mixon owners, it's only week 1.
Don't panic. Don't panic.
don't
at all.
panic.
It's Joe Mixon. Come on.
So that's what I have to say, Ange.
I appreciate that, man. You got my hopes up. I'm gonna stick with him. He's definitely not going anywhere.
I thank you for warming my heart.
Anytime.
Ange, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And thank you for calling in.
Thank you, guys. I'm a big fan of the podcast. Keep it going. I know big things are coming, so keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
we really
Ange.
appreciate the kind words.
Thanks, Ange.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, brother.
See ya.
Take it easy.
You too. See ya.
And for all you fans at home, you guys can tune in as well. You can call us just like that. We got a pocket dial. Anytime on this show, you call in. Me and Nick will answer all your questions. And, of course, we'll answer all your DMs as well with
Of course.
fantasy-related questions.
Absolutely.
You
Or in the
guys-
comments section of one of our
Exactly.
pictures.
Exactly. If you guys need help, we're here to help.
Yes, we are.
And that wraps things up, Nick. But before we leave, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Fresh House Juice Bar. Once again, Fresh House never under-delivers.
No, it never
We're the
disappoints.
best. Right now, I have an I Am Juicy here. It is a very juicy drink, that's for sure. Watermelon. So we'll see what happens there. But of course, as well, PILBROIII Carpentry. Check them out, guys. The PILBROIII family has all your needs for the carpentry business. Check them out. Go to Tony. And that's it for us, Nick. Follow us on Instagram at the Pocket Presence Pod and on YouTube at the Pocket Presence Podcast. Have a good night, guys.
Hoo day!